Hello my favorite internet strangers, we are back again, and this time it'll be with your comments instead of the actual game lore, because I wanted to see what you guys have to say. First of all, right now the most recent comment I've gotten is, what is this unhealthy obsession with IRIDA? That's a good question. Anyways, before we get farther into this, join the Discord and go check out my other two channels if you want. I'm not going to ask you to subscribe yet, I haven't earned it until the end of the video. Anyways, by the way, when I heard that IRIDA new work in progress, the end just feels like hopeful. I don't really want to stretch it, but I feel like there is a feeling of hope in the last part of IRIDA. I mean, maybe. It could just kind of all turn around if they really wanted that to happen. Isn't there like zero info and the corpse is mocking me? Curious as to what you'll come up with though. I thought that too until I looked into it. There's actually quite a bit. But I'm not going to spoil any of that. You can go check out the video. It's on my channel. It's like the second most recent video. I really love this video. Aww. And my favorite song is Shucks in Jeffy's Infinite IRIDA. Now we're going to assume this isn't a bot, and if that isn't, that is a very nice comment. Thank you, sir. I like the video, but guys, Charlie Kirk is a racist piece of word I'm not going to say. He should not be praised. He's a horrible person, so I'm assuming this is about my profile picture. First of all, I'm not going to debate you on whether he's racist or not. I personally do not think he's a racist man. And at the end of the day, if you didn't like what he said, that's fine. I don't think he deserves to be shot for that, though. There's middle schoolers who say the N-word. I don't think they should be shot. And his family and friends and children had to lose a loved one, so for that, I think he deserves to rest in peace and not be mocked. Anyways, let's move on to something less dark. 7:10, let's play the timestamp. He took away from Flower Boy. We should also probably go over the lyrics and what they actually mean. 7:10, do you mean Mario? Because the Mario and the lyrics, literally I think about how he got replaced by Marvin. I had a little bit of a stroke while reading that. But yeah, his canonical name is Flower Boy in the IRIDA lore. Otherwise, yeah, he kind of is Mario. For me, I love the song Shucks. I think it was very good, same. And the way how they did it. But I don't know... The original owner who made this song don't think has a YouTube account. I might just be terrible at reading, dude. I think the only song I like is the one I just talked about. I think it was good out of all of them, but there's several remixes that was popping out to replace the old one. But the song is still good. The regular version has to be the best out of all of them for me, which, but again, my favorite out of all of them because it has such amazing, vibe and lyrics too. Yeah, I think I might just be bad at reading, but, well, if you're looking for the original song, it was made by Ezzy the Cat. I think he took it down on his channel, though, for whatever reason. I don't really know. I swear, I'm not tripping. Cordyceps has the Amazing Digital Circus reference, I swear. I don't know, man. I've watched the Amazing Digital Circus, not the full thing, but, the first few episodes, and I don't think there's a reference, but maybe? I don't know. I'm not catching on to what you're throwing at me. I have a theory. Not a good one, though. Any theory is a good one, I think. Unless it's, completely stupid. IRIDA is related to a name of the Iris messenger sending info from God to Earth. Maybe Dark Jimmy is torturing Marvin as to get him ready for something like the lyric, and you'll be complete. And even more, he uses the rainbow to move from God to human. And when she walks... colorful flower would move, just like that in Cordyceps. Mario's eyes are covered in flowers, or some other flower-like plants. And Jeffy is trying to see when Marvin is complete. So, if I'm getting this right, you mean, once they're covered in flowers, they'd be, complete kind of thing? The theory of, Jeffy coming down from a rainbow to be in human form is actually kind of a solid theory. So I would say yes, you did cook. Inside of EXE Creation, or however you pronounce it, there's this one part where it shows pictures, and I realized it's talking about the video Jeffy's Parents, where Marvin got rid of Jeffy and Rose. And Marvin got into an argument, and Rose left, and I think since Rose left, she still has the book bag, meaning it's the first encounter of her in the mod. I might be wrong about stuff, but I kinda don't care. Edit, Poop Warriors based off of Jeffy.exe. Well, I think Rose only has one encounter in the whole mod, so, I actually don't really think she's gonna show up anywhere else. Shucks, I feel like it's just an illusion of Rose. I don't think Rose is actually there. Next up, Listen, Jeffy died when he got taken by Nancy and reincarnated into Poop Warrior by Dark Jimmy. He finds Rose in EXE Creation, or however you pronounce that, I really have to learn how to pronounce that, and kills her out of rage, but is very sorry. I guess, maybe, but I feel like he would kill Marvin. I feel like he would want to kill Marvin more. Marvin also has a scar on his right eye, over his left eye in IRIDA, which I'm not entirely sure what it's from. I'd assume it's also from Shucks, somehow. Dude, all I've taken from this video is that it's pronounced IRIDA and not Iridia. I always thought it was Iridia for some reason. I mean, same. I used to call it that too, and now I realize that's probably sounded pretty stupid. Also, Shucks is in his imagination, and it doesn't even happen. I'm pretty sure it is hell. I don't think it's just his imagination, because then that wouldn't explain why, like, Dark Jimmy's there and all that. And then he copies and pastes something from the wiki, and then he also adds this. Newly created the word IRIDA in order to exact revenge on the two, eventually to have a final confrontation. Never mind, that's just a full copy and paste. Theory for why Jeffy killed Does Bad Things Guy. Since that version of Does Bad Things Guy is Jeffy's creation, he was meant to kill Marvin. But he failed, so that's why he was crying at the end, knowing he would get punished. Then we got this timestamp. I'll play it. People can usually hit around 6 to 7 miles per hour, or... Alright, we did not need the 6-7 joke, and then we got the replies.
6-7 Sigma.
Alright, we got another comment. Smash Rose. Alright, man, I hear you, but at the same time, pack it up. Came to say never mind, you're getting the pin of shame. Everyone's seeing this. Hi, I'm Funky Marvin. Also, I just noticed his name is Marvin Funky and not Funky Marvin, so, you know, might be scamming a little bit right there. I've heard that Marvin is dreaming about the secret door. All that in the dream, having his best friend Does Bad Things Guy having a saw in his hands. I mean, maybe he truly is in a dream, but I'm pretty confident he's in hell based off of everything I've seen. That was I Say He Say of Dark Jimmy giving Marvin his arm back. I think one of the first songs in the mod will be The Corpses Mocking Me, Cordyceps, Revenant, EXE Creation, Shucks, and IRIDA. Now that makes sense, but I don't know why they made it in the Shucks demo. I wish Shucks was on Foley's. Alright, I'm sorry, but I need Grammarly to sponsor me. Like, some of my audience actually needs to get better at typing. Grammarly, please sponsor me. Maybe he thinks Marvin and Rose is different from Mario and Rosalina. I mean, kind of in the mod, because it refers to Mario as Flower Boy. I don't know if Rosalina will ever actually show up, but they are separate characters. What about the first song will be the old Marvin, and then Dark Jimmy, then Shucks, then IRIDA, I don't know, for Revenant and The Corpses Mocking Me. I mean, I don't really know where a Revenant and The Corpses Mocking Me take place either. I don't really know if it matters the timestamps of those. All I think it matters is that I actually figure out what they are and what's going on. I thought he was dreaming, and it was one of those if you die in your dreams real life things. You know, I saw somebody else say, maybe I'll find the comment here and pull it up, that Jeffy was like Freddy Krueger where he like controls Marvin's dream, and I thought that was a really cool theory. Anyways, I guess I might as well read it. I think that yes, Marvin is in hell, because in different Shucks versions there can be flames going around Marvin and Does Bad Things Guy, like in the Shuck remix by Overani, which I know who that is. I think that the reason why Atheos killed Jeffy killed Does Bad Things Guy is because Jeffy created the hole in the ground causing Does Bad Things Guy to fall, and because Atheos Jeffy was mad that Does Bad Things Guy failed to kill Marvin, he decided to kill Marvin and Does Evil Things Guy. Sounds stupid to be honest. It's just a memory of Marvin, and it's twisted in Marvin's memory, because he doesn't envision him as Brooklyn Guy. When in the start of the song Marvin says, "I'm in a dream, I'm in a nightmare, please wake up, please wake up, please wake up," that is a hint that is a nightmare of Atheos Jeffy in Marvin's dreams, and kind of like Freddy Krueger. Also in the original Atheos song, Marvin says, "My final showdown," which is when he confronts Atheos Jeffy at the end of the song IRIDA. It probably shows us that this is the last of Atheos Jeffy for now. Absolute cinema. Anyways, this guy has a timeline for me. No, actually the line is Cordyceps, then Shucks probably, then IRIDA, then The Corpse of Mocking Me and Revenant are separate from the main lore because no Marvin. But I'm pretty sure that in Cordyceps, Marvin still has his arm. But with the current Cordyceps gameplay we have, Marvin does not have his arm. And I also checked the game files, and it says Marvin IRIDA on the armless Marvin. It doesn't say anything about Cordyceps, so maybe that's just a name and I'm stretching things, but it could mean that he will have his arm back in Cordyceps, and they just use the armless one for a placeholder. This guy says nah, he just has a giant pizza cutter attached to his hand. I mean, you know, maybe. It could be possible, but most pizza cutters do not have teeth. It's really only saws that have teeth for that kind of stuff. I also saw somebody say that it's like attached to his nervous system, and that's how it gets power. But I looked up how much electricity your nervous system generates and uses to like power your limbs and stuff. Power your limbs makes it sound really weird. It makes it sound like we're robots, but anyways, it says our body produces around 0.07 voltage per cell, which last time I checked, most circular saws I've seen or used have around 20 volts and some even up to 120. So, you know, with some basic math, he does not have nearly enough to power a saw. Anyways, Chef PP IRIDA says, 1. The hallway is infinite. 2. Shucks is most likely after IRIDA. 3rd, Does Evil Thinks I was meant to kill Marvin, but Dark Jimmy failed and so he was killed. I honestly think I agree with you guys on the theory that Does Evil Thinks I failed to kill Marvin and that's why he was killed, because I can't really find a better theory and all you guys seem to be saying that. My take is that IRIDA actually comes first in the timeline. Then when Marvin beats it, Dark Jimmy puts Marvin into his next worst memory. This explains why Marvin is unarmed and Shucks, and I'm gonna assume that the sprite for Cordyceps will be changed. So I think that's it in the next timeline. I don't know what to say for EXE Creation or Revenant or The Corpse is Mocking Me to make it more sense, unless those songs aren't canon, or the whole mod is a dream, which it would explain why Marvin seemed unharmed at the end of IRIDA V1. If it is a dream, because that's lame, I think it's a nightmare. That Jimmy is forcing Marvin through with the help of the Hop Bunny guards to punish Marvin. You know, maybe he didn't want to go too far with it, like when he didn't buy him the game, so he just wanted to punish him a little bit with a bad dream, which would honestly be pretty lame if at the end of it you just wake up and it was all a dream. Okay, so I kind of hope they do this like Bendy in the Ink Machine, like where at the end of it he just like finds nothing, like there's just a void and then there's like a door. He opens the door and it leads to the secret door, and then it just happens all over again like Bendy in the Ink Machine does. Anyways, this is my take on Dark Jimmy's memory powers theory. But since Jeffy is disabled / challenged in SML, his powers may not be perfect. So the reason Does Evil Thinks It has legs in Mario and Marvin and Rosalina and Rose, and her being killed, and a Jeffy corpse appearing unless Jeffy is somewhere else not in the background, might prove that he uses powers, but they didn't work perfectly. You know, that's a good theory, since he does have like Down syndrome and a few issues up there. It would make sense that his powers aren't perfect. Anyways, for the last but not least comment, does he know that the mod is cancelled? For one, I do not think it's cancelled. Like, I think I checked and it is still being worked on. Anyways, I'm sorry if I didn't get to your comment. I've been getting a lot of comments lately, so thank you all for the support and helping this channel grow. Anyways, please subscribe. It helps out a ton. You've already given me your watch hours and stuff. I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.